லம்பார் கம்பெனி இருந்திருக்கு. அவங்க வந்து இந்த ட்ரீஸ் எல்லாத்தையும் கட் பண்ணி விற்பாங்க. அதுதானே அவங்களோட இது. அவங்க அந்த இடத்துல ஏதாவது வுட்டு இல்லை ஸ்டோர் ரூம் அந்த மாதிரி எது பில்ட் பண்ணாலுமே தரமட்டமாக அழிஞ்சிருமா. இந்த லேண்டில் வீடு கட்டுறதுக்கு லேண்டு கேட்கும்போது இந்த லேண்ட் வாங்கணும்னா அது வரைக்கும் வாங்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க.
அவன் அடிச்சு விட்டான், இதுதான் சாக்கணும்.
ஆமாம், அவன் விற்கணும்னு ட்ரை பண்ணது வந்து
இவன் வாங்கிட்டான்.
இவன் கவலையே பண்ணல. சரி அதையும் சேர்த்து கொடு அப்படின்னு சொல்லி வாங்கி இவர் கட்ட போகும்போது பார்த்தா அங்கே எல்லா அனாமலி மிஸ்ட்ரி எல்லாமே இந்த எது தூக்குனாலும் திருப்பி இங்கே வந்துடும், ஃபோர்ஸு அந்த சைடு இருக்குன்னு சொல்லிட்டு எதுக்கப்புறம் இந்த அனாமலி இருக்குது அப்படின்றத மார்க் பண்ண வச்சாராம். ஸோ அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது அப்படின்றதுனால அந்த மார்க்கர்லேருந்து தான் நம்ம டூர் ஆரம்பிச்சது.
சரி, அது வீடு யார் இப்போ கட்டியிருக்காது? ஆல்ரெடி இருந்துச்சாமா?
ஒரு 75 இயர்ஸ்க்கு முன்னாடி கட்டிட்டாங்க.
இன்னும் இவ்வளவு ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருக்கு.
Actually 81 years ago the cabin வந்து almost 1 year old வந்து landslide வந்து வீண் ஆச்சு and it stopped in the middle of the forest and then a tree grew like that so that it looks
so the cabin இருக்க இடமே கிடையாது. அது தள்ளிட்டு வந்து அப்படியே நின்னு இருக்கு அந்த இடத்துல. எதனால அது அதுக்கப்புறம் வரலன்றது தெரியல. அதுக்கப்புறமும் வந்திருக்கணும், ஏன்னா ட்ரீஸ்லாம் அந்த கேபினுக்கு அப்புறம் வளர்ந்தது.
ஆமா, ஒரு 6-5
ஸோ வரணும்னா அது இங்க வரைக்கும் வந்து
வந்திருக்கணும். ஆனா அங்கே
நின்றுச்சு.
என்ன பயங்கரமானது இருக்கு நம்ம ஊரு பேய் கதை மாதிரி. ஹாய், ஸோ இப்போ வந்து கலிஃபோர்னியாவில் இருக்கிற மிஸ்ட்ரி ஸ்பாட்டுக்கு வந்திருக்கோம். மிஸ்ட்ரி ஸ்பாட்டில் வந்து கைடட் டூர் தான் இருக்கும் உங்களுக்கு. ஸோ பார்க் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். ஆல்மோஸ்ட் 15 minutes க்ளோசிங் டைமுக்கு முன்னாடி வந்திருக்கோம். ஸோ 6 PM கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. பேக் சைட் காமிக்கிறேன். So general admission $8, parking per car $5, children's 3 years and under free.
Come on up. I will be taking your tickets right here. And can I have you all line up around this stone area here, please? That's okay.
Mystery spot entry.
Mystery spot. Very nice.
One by one.
Welcome.
Hi.
Anybody else for tour 40 at 6 PM? Two at the mystery spot. My name is Ruben. I'm going to be your tour guide today, so we're showing you around. How's everyone doing?
Good.
I am doing great. Thank you for asking. Now, just out of curiosity, have any of you been to the mystery spot before? Anybody here been? How long ago?
Probably like 3 years.
3 years? Okay. Just so you know, the jokes might have gotten a little bit less funny since I've been hired, so I do apologize, man. Great to have you back, though. Anybody else? Well, if you haven't been here before, welcome for the first time. Now, you all are about to embark on what will be the most mysterious tour of your lives. So before you do, I'm going to give you a little history on the mystery, so you get some background on what you're about to see. So, way back in the 1930s, all the land that you see around here today was occupied by a lumber company. So, to set the scene, imagine none of these buildings, very few trees, some stacks of wood, throughout the same amount of cell service. And that was until 1939 when a man named George Prather came along. So George Prather wanted to build a summer home down the valley for his wife, right around the parking lot areas today. However, the lumber company that owns the land before him refused to sell him the land unless he also bought this hillside right here in a package deal. Now, the reason they did that is because every time they tried to build the land, something would go very wrong. The foundation would fall apart, and the building would just simply slide on down and get destroyed. So, of course, they decided to put that burden on Mr. Prather. As you can see, though, Mr. Prather really didn't care, but we're going to get to that. However, he did start to notice some strange things happening on his newly bought land. After what that lumber company said, he decided to send in a team of surveyors to check the area out. The first thing those surveyors observed is how hard it is to climb up this hillside right here. Now, back then, they described it as twice as hard as it should be to climb, given how steep it is. Don't worry, everyone. We're going to be climbing that hill very soon. Now, they also noticed that their compasses would go haywire entering the mystery spot up to 180 degrees off. That's like north to south, east is west. The surveyors observed a lot of phenomena at their time here, but they realized that all of those phenomena were leading them to the center of the circle of land that we call the mystery spot today. So the whole property isn't exactly the mystery spot. It's 150 feet in diameter. The boundary line runs right between these two cement blocks, so between these trees as well. It is a huge circle up along this hillside, and then right in the middle there, a cabin. That is the center of that circle and the center of the mystery spot. So everyone, we're going to start this tour off with a little bit of a demonstration down here. We're going to be using these two cement blocks. Mr. Prater placed these blocks here 80-something years ago to mark that boundary line, and when he did, they were level. Now, over time, these surrounding trees have shifted up and warped the cement than they used to be, so they're not exactly level anymore. As I'm sure a lot of you all can tell from the driveway in here, fixing stuff is not our strong point here at the mystery spot. So we have these wonderful little planks to make them level again. Now, to prove that these are actually level, I have this here to test it. I'm sure some of you are already familiar with how a level works. If you aren't, totally okay. I'm going to do some review. So when the bubble is in the middle, that means it is level, flat, right? Easiest rule to remember. When the bubble's on one side, that means that side is higher. And as y'all can see, right, as I move that level around, the bubble moves correspondingly. So it's not frozen or stuck or anything like that. Now I'm going to take this level, I'm going to place this down on our first block. And could you all tell me, where is that bubble?
Middle.
In the middle. What does that mean, crowd?
It's leveled.
It's level, awesome. Now I want to test this one as well, just to be sure. What are we seeing here?
It's level.
Level, great. And lastly, I'm just going to flip this around for you all, just to show you that this level is not bent or tapered. Is that all good too?
Yes.
Awesome. So we have two level blocks here, and that is the end of the tour. Thank you all so much for coming down to the mystery spot today. Really enjoyed your
Wow.
No, that's not over yet. We're going to get started with this demonstration. I do this one in pairs, and I like the first pair to be roughly the same height. Oh yeah, come on through, guys. Sorry. We're just about to start a group event. So if any of you guys are around the same height, you guys want to give this a go? Coming up. So I'm going to have you two stand like this, face each other on skis, on either side. Don't worry, most people survive this one. Don't be scared. So remember, we have that boundary line running right between these blocks right now. So that means that you right now are outside the mystery spot. My reverse effect is that you are inside the mystery spot right now. Now, do you by any chance feel any more mysterious than usual over on that side? No? Okay, well, no, we're not mysterious yet. We'll get a little bit more serious as the tour goes on. Taking a look at the height differences, though, it does look like you're a little bit taller. Now, I'm going to go ahead and grab this because I want to test your eye level. So looking straight ahead, looks like your eye level is right around the tip of his nose. I'm going to say that your eye level is right around his hairline. Does that sound about right? I'm going to have you choose first places. So you are going to be leaving the mystery spot. Right, okay. So we're seeing a little bit of a difference here, right? How are you feeling on this side? Taller, yeah. How are you feeling over here? Your eye level was around his hairline before, right? Now, looking straight ahead, it's right around the tip of his nose. It's funny, your eye level was on the tip of his nose a second ago. Now, looking straight ahead, it's right around the top of his forehead, too. So you guys have switched places, and you've clearly gained some height, right? You have lost some height. And you two are standing on those level planks. We even flipped that level around firm. So can I have you two switch places one more time for me? Let's see where we were before. Right, and you're seeing that opposite effect. So, I want to ask you guys a question. Which side do you like better now you've seen both sides? Yeah, well, I feel like that side better. I like to be taller. And how are you feeling over here? Good. Tall, maybe? How are you feeling over here? Short. Any more mysterious than before, maybe even a little? Kind of. Okay, that's good enough for me. Some mystery to start off with. Pretty hard to climb, show of hands. Anyone feel that it was pretty easy, no big deal? So I'm gonna have you two, you're gonna walk up and down that hill a couple times until you hear the rest of us, okay? I'm not gonna do that to you yet. Now I do like to point this strenuous climb out though. So we at the mystery spot believe that this is the first evidence of what seems to be this force pushing outward from the center. So as you're walking up that hill, not only do you have the natural force of gravity pressing down, you have an additional force pushing outward, trying to your chest and shoulders as you try to make that climb.
Ooh. ஆமா.
So you all coming in as well? I'm gonna have you keep scooting around as best you can, please.
Ooh.
Okay.
என் கிம்பிள லெவல் பண்ண மாட்டேங்குது.
Last almost.
Oh my god.
Are you my last victim, sir?
If he tried to
Welcome to the first courtyard.
Oh
So
man.
the first thing you all notice standing up here is this very wonky looking cab behind me. Now just ignore that for a moment. We'll get there. Be right here. Yeah.
you're standing sideways, sort of.
I'm standing slanted, right?
Yeah.
Somebody in my last tour said it was my hair when I asked that question. Really upset. I'm still kind of recovering from that one. But we are standing about an 11-degree lean now. We've increased from 3 to 11 coming up that hill. So here's what I'm going to have you all do. I'm going to have you all stand here, face me in the cabin like this. Let's see what this lean does for our bodies. Stand like this. You'll notice that your feet will stick out way to the side of you, right? When you face down that hill we just climbed towards the parking lot, you'll notice your feet will stick out way in front of you. I once had an older gentleman try this on my tour. He looked down and said, "Oh my God. It's the first time I've seen my feet since college." That was a nice one. I found that a lot. More? You all feel that? That's the spirit of Michael Jackson. Roll a bunch of smooth. All right, I want to tell you all a little bit more about this cabin now. This was built by Mr. Prather, of course, despite those warnings. It wasn't actually built where you see it today, though. This cabin behind Prather got here. That makes this cabin about 8 to 10 years older than the tree standing here today. Now, this actually makes a lot of sense. This tree next to the cabin is only about 150 feet tall. Let's stop the cabin in its tracks. Tree? What's your name? Geo. Let's get a round of applause for Geo, everyone. Thank you. Now that answer is incorrect. Now remember, before Mr. Prather, this land was occupied by a lumber company. What do lumber companies do best, everyone?
Oh, cut down trees.
Cut down trees, right? They destroy the environment. They had actually cleared out the entire area before Mr. Prather got here. That makes this cabin about 8 to 10 years older than the tree standing here today. Now, this actually makes a lot of sense. This tree next to the cabin is only about 150 feet tall today. It's a redwood, and redwoods tend to grow around 2 feet a year on average, making them not only one of the fastest growing trees in the world, but also really predictable. That way we know that this tree is only about 75 years old. This cabin, it's 81 years old. Again, it slid down here when it was less than a year old. So when it stopped here, that tree, pretty much all the other trees in this forest, couldn't have been here. So we don't think it was the trees. We believe that the cabin stopped here again because this is that center of the mystery spot where those forces push and pull their strongest. So we believe it was drawn into that center by those forces where it stays today. All right, everyone, introducing the wonderful, amazing Board of Mystery, and the crowd goes.
Ooh. Ah.
Now, this may look like an ordinary plank of wood from Home Depot. Promise you it's not. We actually got this one from Lowe's. And I'm going to place this into the cabin. And at first glance, I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me. It appears that this side of the board is higher and this side is lower. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I'm going to take my level and just make sure. I'm going to plop this on down. And could I have, how about you coming up? And could you tell me, where's that bubble right there? In the middle. And could you tell everyone in your best tour guide voice what that means? That it is level. High five, thank you. So as I said, this is a level board. It's not quite how we see it.
எங்க சாஞ்சு
You
போயிட்டு
didn't think
இருக்க?
it's level? Totally okay. I'm going to give you another chance to redeem yourself and ask you another question. Now, what would happen if I were to take, say, a crystal ball and place that ball down on this level board? What should happen to that ball? Still? Okay.
Oh. Ah.
Witchcraft! You want to see that again?
You rolled it.
No, no, he pushed
because
it.
he rolled it.
Oh my god.
Gravity is pulling.
So as you all can see, this is a level surface, and yet when I send the ball through, it stops, changes directions, and rolls out the other way. This is that force I was talking about. It's pushing outward from the center. It's the same force felt pressing down you walking up that hill. So when I send it through, that force acts on it by stopping it, pushing it outward, away from the cabin, and away from that center of the district. Now, at this point of the tour, people do start to get a little bit suspicious, right?
Yeah.
They say that I could be some sort of pro-magician. Let me tell you, I make $14 an hour. I am not a pro-magician. But they also say that there could be a V-line in this board, right? Cause the ball to be pushed out a certain way. That's a lot more fair. I'm going to flip this around, place this back into the cabin, send it on through. And as you all can see, that ball will stop and embarrass me in front of everyone, apparently. We're generally right, that ball's gonna stop, change directions, and roll out the other way. If it was a V-line, it would slide straight into the cabin the opposite way. Now, they also say that there could be a magnet in this ball, right? Maybe I could have trained a little hamster to run around in there, who knows? Could I borrow something from the crowd that is cylindrical, like a chapstick or a lipstick? Anybody have anything like that? Burt's Bees is preferred, by the way.
This one.
Oh, that works. Thank you. So I'm gonna take this, place it on down. Let's see what happens. We are seeing the same thing. Even if I push it into the cabin, it stops.
Wow.
And it rolls out the other way. Thank you. And if you
Illa.
were to a secret
Pulls
undercover
down.
mystery spot employee, all
Gravity.
they know, they would have no idea. To look a little bit suspect. So for that reason, I'm gonna take a water. I'm gonna pour it down on our board. Let's see what happens.
The water is coming down.
We are seeing the same thing. So this water is flowing the same way the water and the chapstick, and the last way that we would logically expect it to, right? And for the adults in the crowd, it does turn into your beverage of choice coming out of that mystery spot, which is apparently vodka. Now, we're about to move into this cabin here where I have a ton of cool stuff to show you. And I want to talk about one thing before we do. You all are going to be coming in here with me. I'll be showing you everything the cabin has to offer. And then after, I'll give you some free time in there to just mess around, see what you want to see, explore. I'm going to ask you guys to wait take pictures of your family and stuff until that free time, just to help everything a lot faster and smoother before that new week down there comes through. And without further ado, could I y'all follow me to the cabin? So we're wrapping around this side first, and perhaps I'll be in there.
ஆமா அம்மா தலை சுத்துது.
தள்ளுது பயங்கர ஃபோர்ஸா
கிராவிட்டி எப்படி புல் பண்ணுது பாத்தியா? காம்பஸ் வச்சு பார்க்கலாமா? காம்பஸ். Will the compass works?
You also see this on a rainy day. It's absolute chaos. Like 6 kids slide down at once.
Yeah, it's pushing.
All right, could I have you all kind of scoot down a little bit more? I want to see the last couple people in here. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
What?
Last couple people, filter on. Oh. Thank you.
What's happening?
All right, everyone. So I'm sure you've noticed by now, we are finally at that 17-degree lean. It's pretty hard to ignore. Up here on the table, great spot. You can be Superman, pretend the Titanic. Awesome photo opportunity up here. The only thing is, if you do decide to stand up here, don't jump down. You're not playing where you think you will. You'll land under the table. It'll be really embarrassing. I know from experience. Kids have been known to fly out of this window.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Make sure you use those stairs though. Oh, another thing. Some of you may be thinking that the floors in here or the surfaces in general could be all that's responsible for that lean. Could I have, how about you go up to those handlebars in that doorway and lift yourself off the ground for me? Yeah, and try to keep your body straight as you can. Oh, watch out. So, as you can see, you're also at that 17-degree lean in midair. He's parallel to us on the ground. And you all can try this in your free time as well. For now, though, we're going to head into this second room where I have a few more things to show you. If I could have you all wrap around there just as you did here, and I'm going to get started.
Yes, தள்ளுதுடா.
I see something right here.
தலை சுத்துது.
They didn't know this. They bought it from me.
இதுல நிக்கவே முடியல, தலை சுத்துது.
Last couple people, can I scoot through a little bit?
நீ போமா. முடியல.
Alright, well, welcome to the second room. So, I want to direct your attention over here to this hanging ball. This is called a pendulum, and the way these work is they swing at an equal distance before coming to an exact stop in the center. As you can see though, it favors this side of the cabin over the other. And as you will see, if you decide to play around with this, it's a lot harder to push this way than it is to push it that way. Remember what I said about that equal swing, right? It's clearly swinging this way more. That's another result of that force pushing out on it, just like that ball and just like that hill. Now, this isn't a magnet, it's 32 pounds of lead alloy, so please be careful. This is not a Miley Cyrus music video, okay? But right here, great little photo opportunity. If two people want to take a picture, one can stand like this, while the other stands like that. Just the differences in their lean for the different surfaces. And lastly, right here, we have what looks like a ladder, or you'll find these actually work more like stairs. And up here, you can be Spider-Man. So a great photo opportunity. However, I'm going to give you your free time now. Eventually, I'm going to give you a 2-minute warning. We'll end up in this second courtyard before that new group comes through. If you all have any questions for me so far, feel free to let me know. We're going to take a picture. But otherwise, thank you all for waiting. Have fun. Go explore.
Great.
I can actually